Question 1. What does this sign indicate for drivers? A. Minimum speed limit is 50 km per hour. B. Maximum speed limit is 50 km per hour. C. Recommended speed is 50 km per hour. D. Speed camera ahead limit 50. Answers is B. Maximum speed limit is 50. This sign indicates a maximum speed limit of 50. Drivers must not exceed this speed in the area where the sign applies. Question 2. What action should you take when approaching this sign? A. Slow down and proceed with caution. B. Stop completely and give way to all traffic. C. Give way to traffic from the right. D. Proceed without stopping if clear. Answers is B. Stop completely and give way to all traffic. The stop sign means you must come to a complete stop before the stop line or intersection and give way to all traffic on the intersecting road before proceeding. Question 3. What does this sign inform you about? A. A sharp curve to the right. B. A roundabout circular intersection. C. A mandatory right turn ahead. D. A scenic route. Answers is B. A roundabout circular intersection. This sign indicates a roundabout. Drivers must give way to traffic already in the roundabout, unless otherwise by other signs or road markings, and follow the direction of travel. Question 4. What does this sign mean for heavy goods vehicles? A. No entry for goods vehicles. B. Goods vehicles must turn right. C. Priority for goods vehicles. D. Loading zone for goods vehicles. Answers is A. No entry for goods vehicles. This sign prohibits entry for goods vehicles. This applies to vehicles primarily used for transporting goods, typically above a certain maximum permissible mass. Question 5. When should you use your headlights during the day in the Netherlands? A. Only in tunnels. B. In poor visibility due to fog or rain. C. Always for better visibility to others. D. When driving on motorways only. Answers is B. In poor visibility due to fog or rain. You must use your headlights' low beams during the day when visibility is significantly due to fog, heavy rain, or snow. Daytime running lights are sufficient in good visibility. Question 6. What does this sign indicate about the road ahead? A. A speed bump or hump. B. An uneven road surface. C. Ahead. D. A slippery road section. Answers is B. An uneven road surface. This warning sign indicates that the road surface ahead is uneven. Drivers should reduce their speed and drive with caution to maintain control of the vehicle and prevent discomfort. Question 7. What does this sign mean for drivers at an intersection? A. You have priority. B. Give way to traffic on the intersecting road. C. Stop and wait for a green light. D. Proceed if the road is clear. Answers is B. Give way to traffic on the intersecting road. The give way sign means you must yield to all traffic on the intersecting road before proceeding. You do not necessarily have to stop, but be prepared to do so if needed. Question 8. What is prohibited when you see this sign? A. Making a U-turn. B. Overtaking other motor vehicles. C. Parking on the side of the road. D. Driving faster than 50 km per hour. Answers is B. Overtaking other motor vehicles. This sign indicates no overtaking. You are prohibited from overtaking other motor vehicles, except for vehicles like motorcycles and bicycles. Question 9. What type of road are you entering when you see this sign? A. A road for motor vehicles. B. A motorway expressway. C. A dual carriageway. D. A main priority road. Answers is B, a motorway expressway. This sign marks the beginning of a motorway. Specific rules apply, such as a minimum speed of 60 and no stopping on the hard shoulder except for. Question 10. When is it permissible to overtake on the right in the Netherlands? A. When traffic in the left lane is slow. B. In a traffic jam or queue on multi-lane roads. C. When exiting a motorway. D. Only if the left lane is completely blocked. Answers is B. In a traffic jam or queue on multi-lane roads. Overtaking on the right is generally prohibited. However, it is permitted when traffic is moving in queues on multi-lane roads, or if the vehicle in front is indicating a left turn and you can pass safely. Question 11. What does this sign primarily warn about? A. A school zone ahead. B. Children likely to be on or near the road. C. A pedestrian crossing for children. D. A playground nearby. Answers is B. Children likely to be on or near the road. This sign warns drivers that children may be on or near the road, often found near schools, playgrounds, or residential areas. Exercise extreme caution and reduce speed. Question 12. What does this sign mean for parking? A. No stopping allowed. B. No parking allowed. C. Parking restricted to certain hours. D. Parking for residents only. Answers is B. No parking allowed. This sign means no parking. You may stop briefly to let passengers in or out or to goods, but you must not leave your vehicle unattended. Question 13. What is the primary instruction of this sign? A. Road closed straight ahead. B. Mandatory to proceed straight. C. Straight road ahead. D. Recommended route is straight. Answers is B. Mandatory to proceed straight. This is a mandatory sign indicating that drivers must proceed straight ahead. Turning left or right is not permitted unless another lane or sign indicates otherwise. Question 14. What does this sign indicate for drivers with trailers? A. Parking for vehicles with trailers. B. No entry for vehicles with trailers. C. Trailers must turn right. D. Heavy vehicles only. Answers is B. No entry for vehicles with trailers. This sign prohibits entry for vehicles with a trailer. This applies to caravans, boat trailers, and any other vehicle drawing a trailer, regardless of its weight. Question 15. When driving in fog, what is the best advice for using lights? A. Use high beams to see further. B. Use fog lights and low beams. C. Only use parking lights. D. Turn off all lights to avoid glare. Answers is B. Use fog lights and low beams. In fog, low beams and front fog lights are most effective, as high beams can reflect off the fog and reduce visibility. Rear fog lights should be used when visibility is less than 50 meters. Question 16. What does this sign signify regarding priority? A. You must give way to all traffic. B. You are on a priority road. C. Priority over oncoming traffic. D. End of priority road. Answers is B. You are on a priority road. This sign indicates that you are on a priority road. This means that traffic on intersecting roads must give way to you, unless otherwise by other signs or traffic lights. Question 17. What does this sign prohibit? A. Turning left. B. Making a U-turn. C. Stopping at the side of the road. D. Overtaking other vehicles. Answers is B. Making a U-turn. This sign means no. You are prohibited from turning your vehicle to face the opposite direction on the road at this location. Question 18. What should you do when you see this sign indicating pedestrians? A. Speed up to clear the area quickly. B. Be prepared to stop for pedestrians. C. Honk your horn to warn pedestrians. D. Pedestrians must wait. Answers is B. Be prepared to stop for pedestrians. This sign warns of a pedestrian crossing ahead. You must be prepared to stop for pedestrians who are crossing or about to cross the road, and always yield to them. Question 19. What is the meaning of this sign? A. No entry, do not enter. B. Yield to oncoming traffic. C. Stop ahead. D. End of restricted zone. Answers is A. No entry, do not enter. This sign means no entry or do not enter. It is typically placed at the exit of a one-way street or a prohibited access point. You are not allowed to drive past this sign. Question 20. What should be your minimum following distance in good conditions? A. 1 car length. B. A gap. C. Half a second gap. D. Enough to see the rear bumper. Answers is B. A gap. The rule is a good general guideline for maintaining a safe following distance in normal conditions. Increase this gap in adverse conditions like rain or fog. Question 21. What does this sign inform you about regarding cyclists? A. Cyclists prohibited. B. Mandatory cycle track. C. Shared path for cyclists. D. Warning for cyclists ahead. Answers is B. Mandatory cycle track. This sign indicates a mandatory cycle track. Cyclists must use this path, and other vehicles are generally not permitted to enter or stop on it. Be aware of cyclists. Question 22. What is the primary instruction of this sign? A. Recommended right turn. B. Mandatory turn right. C. No left turn allowed. D. Exit right for service area. Answers is B. Mandatory turn right. This sign is a mandatory sign indicating that you must turn right. It is typically found at intersections where other directions are prohibited or not possible for drivers. Question 23. What does this warning sign indicate? A. Road under construction. B. Slippery road ahead. C. Dangerous curve. D. Loose gravel on road. Answers is B. Slippery road ahead. This sign warns drivers that the road ahead may be slippery, perhaps due to ice, water, oil, or fallen leaves. Reduce speed and avoid sudden braking or steering. Question 24. What does this sign indicate for drivers? A. Road for motor vehicles only. B. A one-way road. C. A road with priority. D. End of one-way road. Answers is B. A one-way road. This sign indicates a one-way road. All traffic must travel in the direction by the arrow. You may not drive against the direction. Question 25. When must you switch off your rear fog light? A. When visibility improves to 100 meters. B. When visibility improves beyond 50 meters. C. Only when it starts raining lightly. D. Never if it is still foggy. Answers is B. When visibility improves beyond 50 meters. Rear fog lights are very bright and can dazzle drivers behind you. They should only be used when visibility is severely, specifically to 50 meters or less. Question 26. What does this sign warn about at a railway crossing? A railway crossing. B. A railway crossing. C. A railway crossing with barriers. D. A tram crossing. Answers is B. A railway crossing. This warning sign indicates a railway crossing without barriers. You must slow down, look and listen for trains, and be prepared to stop before crossing. Question 27. What does this sign mean for cyclists? A. Cyclists are prohibited ahead. B. Cyclists may be entering or crossing the road. C. A mandatory cycle path starts here. D. Parking for cyclists. Answers is B. Cyclists may be entering or crossing the road. This sign warns drivers to be aware of cyclists potentially entering or crossing the road. This is often found near cycle paths, intersections, or residential areas, so drive with caution. Question 28. What is the instruction of this sign? A. Obstacle in the road. B. Pass obstacle on the right side. C. Turn right ahead. D. Emergency exit on the right. Answers is B. Pass obstacle on the right side. This mandatory sign indicates that you must pass the obstacle ahead on its right side. This is often used for traffic islands or road construction where a specific path is required. Question 29. What does this sign indicate about the road ahead? A. Road narrows on the right. B. Road narrows on both sides. C. Road widens ahead. D. A pedestrian crossing ahead. Answers is B. Road narrows on both sides. This warning sign indicates that the road ahead narrows on both sides. Drivers should be cautious, adjust speed, and be aware of potential oncoming traffic in the space. Question 30. Under what condition is passing a tram on the right allowed? A. Never always pass on the left. B. If the tram is turning left and there is space. C. Only if the tram is stationary at a stop. D. Always in urban areas. Answers is B. If the tram is turning left and there is space. Trams are generally passed on the right. However, if a tram is turning left and there is sufficient space on the right to pass safely, it is permitted. Special rules apply if passengers are. Question 31. What does this sign indicate for drivers? A. No parking allowed. B. No stopping allowed. C. Stopping for only. D. Parking restricted to certain times. Answers is B. No stopping allowed. This sign means no stopping. You are not allowed to stop your vehicle here for any reason, not even briefly to drop off or pick up passengers or to goods. Question 32. What does this sign mean for vehicles carrying dangerous goods? A. Recommended route for dangerous goods. B. No entry for vehicles carrying dangerous goods. C. Parking zone for dangerous goods vehicles. D. Inspection point for dangerous goods. Answers is B. No entry for vehicles carrying dangerous goods. This prohibitory sign means that vehicles carrying dangerous goods are not allowed to enter the road or area. This is crucial for maintaining public safety. Question 33. What is the purpose of this sign? A. Pedestrian crossing only for children. B. A pedestrian crossing ahead. C. A pedestrian zone. D. Mandatory pedestrian path. Answers is B. A pedestrian crossing ahead. This information sign indicates that a pedestrian crossing is ahead. Drivers should be attentive, reduce speed, and be prepared to yield to pedestrians using or about to use the crossing. Question 34. What does this sign signify? A. Steep ascent ahead. B. Steep descent ahead. C. Uneven road. D. Road narrows. Answers is B. Steep descent ahead. This warning sign indicates a steep descent ahead. Drivers should select a lower gear to use engine braking, reducing reliance on friction brakes and the risk of overheating. Question 35. What is the meaning of this sign? A. Two obstacles ahead. B. Pass obstacle on either side. C. Road divided ahead. D. No entry from either side. Answers is B, pass obstacle on either side. This mandatory sign indicates that an obstacle can be passed on either the left or the right side. Drivers should choose the safest route based on traffic and road conditions. Question 36. In an unmarked intersection, who has priority? A. Vehicles coming from the left. B. Vehicles coming from the right. C. The fastest vehicle. D. The larger vehicle. Answers is B. Vehicles coming from the right. In the Netherlands, at unmarked intersections, the general rule is priority to traffic from the right. Always be prepared to give way even if you believe you have priority. Question 37. What does this sign warn about? A. Strong headwind. B. Strong side wind. C. Falling objects. D. Road ahead is blocked. Answers is B. Strong side wind. This warning sign indicates strong side winds. Drivers, especially those in vehicles or with trailers, should be prepared for sudden gusts that can push the vehicle sideways. Question 38. What does this sign indicate? A. A quiet residential street. B. Entrance to a residential area Vunuf. C. Parking zone for residents. D. Road for local traffic only. Answers is B. Entrance to a residential area Vunuf. This sign marks the entrance to a Vunuf or residential area, where pedestrians and children have priority. Maximum speed is walking pace approximately 15, and all road users are equal. Question 39. What is prohibited by this sign? A. Turning right. B. Turning left. C. Driving straight. D. Making a U-turn. Answers is B. Turning left. This sign prohibits turning left at the upcoming intersection or junction. You must choose another direction, such as straight or right, if permitted by other signs or markings. Question 40. What should you do if an emergency vehicle approaches with sirens and flashing lights? A. Speed up to get out of the way. B. Give way and if necessary stop safely. C. Maintain your speed and lane. D. Block other traffic to help the vehicle. Answers is B. Give way and if necessary stop safely. You must always give way to emergency vehicles with sirens and flashing lights. Move to the side and stop safely if necessary to allow them to pass without obstruction. Question 41. When should you use your hazard warning lights? A. When driving slightly over the speed limit. B. When your vehicle is a temporary obstruction. C. When parking briefly in a zone. D. Always when driving slowly. Answers is B. When your vehicle is a temporary obstruction. Hazard warning lights should be used to warn other road users of a temporary obstruction or danger caused by your vehicle, such as a breakdown, sudden slowing on a fast road, or an emergency stop. Question 42. In the Netherlands, what is the rule for signaling when changing lanes on a motorway? A. Only if another vehicle is close. B. Always signal in good time. C. It is optional depending on traffic. D. Signal only after starting the maneuver. Answers is B. Always signal in good time. You must always signal your intention to change lanes well in advance to give other drivers time to react. This applies to all roads, especially motorways, to ensure safety and smooth traffic flow. Question 43. What does this sign mean for vehicles? A. No entry for bicycles. B. No entry for all vehicles, movement prohibited. C. No entry for motor vehicles only. D. End of restricted area. Answers is B. No entry for all vehicles, movement prohibited. This sign prohibits entry for all vehicles in both directions. It marks a road or area that is closed to all traffic. except possibly pedestrians if not further restricted by other signs. Question 44. When exiting a roundabout, what is the correct signaling procedure? A. Signal left upon entering the roundabout. B. Signal right just before your intended exit. C. Signal only if other cars are present. D. No signal is required when exiting. Answers is B. Signal right just before your intended exit. When exiting a roundabout, you must signal right just before the exit you intend to take. This informs other road users of your intentions and helps traffic flow smoothly. Question 45. What is the recommended action when encountering this sign? A. Speed up to pass quickly. B. Reduce speed and be prepared for changes. C. Honk to warn workers. D. Follow the vehicle in front closely. Answers is B. Reduce speed and be prepared for changes. This warning sign indicates roadworks ahead. Drivers should reduce speed, be alert for workers, changed road layouts, temporary signs, and debris on the road. Drive with extra caution. Question 46. What does this sign inform you about regarding traffic lights? A. Traffic lights are out of order. B. Traffic lights are ahead. C. Green light for all traffic. D. Pedestrian crossing with lights. Answers is B. Traffic lights are ahead. This warning sign indicates that there are traffic lights ahead. This allows drivers to anticipate and adjust their speed in time for potential stops or changes in traffic flow. Question 47. When is it safe to cross a railway crossing without barriers? A. As soon as a train has passed. B. Only when you have a clear view and no train. C. If the vehicle in front crosses safely. D. When the signal lights are not flashing. Answers is B. Only when you have a clear view and no train. At railway crossings without barriers, you must always stop, look, and listen for trains. Only proceed when you are absolutely sure that no train is approaching from either direction. Question 48. What is the meaning of this priority sign? A. Oncoming traffic has priority. B. You have priority over oncoming traffic. C. Yield to traffic from the right. D. Two-way traffic ahead. Answers is B. You have priority over oncoming traffic. This sign indicates that you have priority over any oncoming traffic. This is typically used on narrow sections of road where only one vehicle can pass at a time, requiring you to yield. Question 49. What does this sign indicate for the use of snow chains? A. Snow chains prohibited. B. Mandatory to use snow chains. C. Snow chains recommended. D. Road closed due to snow. Answers is B. Mandatory to use snow chains. This mandatory sign indicates that snow chains are required for all vehicles on this section of the road. This ensures safety and grip in severe snowy or icy conditions. Question 50. What does this sign mean for vehicles entering this road? A. Only motor vehicles allowed. B. No entry for motor vehicles. C. Parking for motor vehicles. D. Motor vehicles must turn around. Answers is B. No entry for motor vehicles. This prohibitory sign means no entry for motor vehicles. This road or area is closed to cars, motorcycles, and other motor vehicles, but may allow cyclists or pedestrians.